Hey, what's up, y'all? Hey, we're gonna get back at it on this trailer. I changed a couple things. I decided to make it longer than I was originally because I'm gonna set the pit up on there a different way to where it's kind of a walk-on style trailer instead of it being on the side where you would just stand at the side of the trailer. And man, I looked at some different things. A lot of people on the last one commented about it would be easier to just cut the spring brackets and just move the axle up and then cut off the back end, whatever I don't want on it. And I got to looking at it, and that is true. I mean, in the right situation, that would be true. You could cut those off, move it up, and just cut the back end off. But what I got going here, I think it's going to end up more work if I do that, and I'll show you why. See, the thinking is that you can just cut these off, cut the brackets off on both sides, move the whole thing up. But if you do that, then you're going to have to cut these fender welds off. You're going to have to cut all these stitch welds back here. It's solid going down the side. You're going to have to cut all that on both sides to get that off. And then this back piece of channel, you see how it's the solid side to the back. If we move up, it's going to be the hollow side to the back, which it wouldn't hurt anything. But I know I would try to cap it or try to turn it around, and in order to turn it around, that channel was kind of fit into each other. You're gonna have a pain trying to get that out, and without having to mess up a lot of stuff and then refix it and all this and that. So in the end, I think I'm just gonna go ahead and chop it off like I originally planned to do. It's just I'm gonna leave it longer than what I first intended to do, because it's gonna be a pain to get those fender wells off. It might not be that bad with a cutting wheel. You certainly don't want to hit it with a torch. They're thin. And anything thin like that with a torch, you're just going to end up with a problem most of the time. So what's going to happen is I put some marks on it. I'm going to cut it off there on both sides. And then cut it off here on both sides. And but what I'm going to do first is I'm going to tack a piece across on this side, the usable side. Tack a piece all the way across there, and then tack a piece all the way across here. And that's just to keep this channel on the sides, the side rails, from trying to flex in any. Hopefully everything should stay the same then. I got a piece of angle here and a piece of tubing that I'm going to tack across it. And hopefully that'll keep everything the same. That way we can just butt right back up to it, hopefully without any problems. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to try to cut it with a cutting wheel instead of the torch. Make less of a mess. It's going to be a pain to cut this bottom side no matter what I do, so I'm going to try it with the cutting wheel, and we'll go from there. After we get it apart, we'll go from there. All right, we got it apart, got the section out. It's over there. And so now pretty much what's gonna happen is I'm gonna take this angle iron. This was some of the pieces that came off of there. But what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna tack it up right there on this end and try to get it flat and straight as I can on there. And then try to roll up and butt up to that end to where it'll sit down into this piece of angle iron. And this is just to hold it, to try to get it all braced back up and everything, and then this will come back off. So I'm just gonna tack it on there at a bare minimum and try to get everything fit up, and then these will come back off. All right, we got it about fit up. Everything looks pretty good here. I had a problem on this side. This front part, it was bent in further than what it should have been, about 1/4 inch. And I ended up having to cut this apart, and then that seam right there, and then cut the bottom one too, to get it to pull over to where it was get about flush with that one. So anyway, we got that done, but I'm gonna have to clean all that up and re-weld it. And so now, I guess what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna weld this top side on both ends and weld this bottom in here, and then pull the angle iron off where I can weld down the sides and get that welded up. And then we're gonna fish plate the sides of it. I'm gonna weld it fully, but I still wanna fish plate it just because I would rather do that than leave it like that. And sometimes I've done it before where I fish plated the inside and just left the outside with the weld on it. But I think we're gonna put it on the outside this time and go from there, and we'll be just about done by that time. All right, y'all, that'll wrap it up. It is a lot shorter with that section out. I ended up cutting these out for the fish plates. And of course, I could have just welded down there on the ends. I just thought with a bolt head in there it would look cool. So I welded the middles and put a bolt through the ends. It's like that on both sides. But yeah, it ought to be good and solid now. And I may end up, I'll probably have to cut a piece out of here and put back in. I can't remember where I was thinking. I done got rid of my mark. But right around here in the middle somewhere of this section to where the pit will sit where I want it to sit at. Because if everything goes right, you know, a lot of times when you're looking at stuff, trying to think it out, it don't look the same as when you do it. But I'm thinking the pit's gonna go right there, and then the burners are gonna come across the front. That way when you stand up on it, you're right in the middle of everything. All you have to do is turn to do what you're gonna do. But anyway, that'll do it on this video. I don't wanna untarp this thing because it's thundering out here. We're probably fixing to get a little thunder shower. But it's coming together over there. The chambers are put together, one of the pipes are on. So after I get this video up, I'm going to start a video on that, on putting the trailer all together and everything, and we'll take it from there. So anyway, man, hey, y'all, thanks for the tips on maybe just moving the axle forward. And like I said, it would have been easier. I didn't want to mess with those fender wells, moving those. Sometimes stuff that looks like it would be easy isn't as easy as you thought it would be. And so anyway, I just didn't want to mess with those fender wells, but it was a good idea. So like I say, that'll do it on this one. The next video should be on that thing, getting it all put together and everything. So if y'all new to the channel, man, please like and subscribe, and y'all come back for the next one, see what's happening.